going overseas to something that could very well impact us right here. Some are calling it anarchy in the UK. Today is the third day of riots in the British capital. Now, it started when police shot a 29-year-old man. That was the catalyst. But what has transpired since there? Looting of shops, rioting, it appears to be inspired by so much more. What is behind the violence? And especially as we talk about economic collapse, austerity, which we've seen in the UK, does this have roots that spread far beyond just this one country? Just a short while ago, RT's Kevin Owen spoke with correspondent Ivor Bennett, who's in London. And Ivor has the latest on what is going on right there.
Yeah, riots are continuing to spread even as late as this evening, and this is now the third day in a row that that's been happening across the city, and each time it's a new location that's affected. The latest, as you just said, is Lewisham, which is in the south of the city, really the other end of London to Tottenham, which was where the initial unrest took place on Saturday night. And what pictures we've seen there is of two vehicles that have just been set alight. Riot police have been deployed there in Lewisham in South London. We don't know yet, we don't have any figures on a number of arrests, if any, that have been made there. But the worst action, the most severe unrest that took place today was in Hackney in the north-east of London. Again, another area that was previously unaffected until today. What was happening there was looters, groups of people swarming the main high streets there, smashing windows, ransacking shops, in some cases stealing and looting merchandise, things like T-shirts, trainers, in other cases just laying their hands on whatever they could to hurl at the police as missiles, chairs, wooden beams. And riot police in the area, they're trying to control the situation by forming a human line across the street and charging at the rioters to funnel them down one area. But the problem they're facing is that once they control one street, another pocket of violence erupts in another street. And reports are out this evening saying that the rioters are actually coordinating their efforts using BlackBerry instant messaging via mobile phones. Now, that differs to Twitter, where Twitter is public. This is private messaging, so groups can coordinate their movements privately and thus stay ahead of the police.
OK, Ivor, and we're just getting some more information through this being obviously taken extremely seriously. We're hearing that London's Mayor Boris Johnson's cut short his summer holiday to return to the capital, as more than 200 have been arrested and 35 officers injured. We're also hearing as well earlier on today that Home Secretary Theresa May returned early from her holiday to meet acting Met Police Commissioner Tim Goodwin and other senior officers to try and stem what's going on here. The catalyst for it was the shooting, the catalyst for what happened at the beginning of the weekend, anyway, was the shooting of this 29-year-old man. Is that the catalyst for everything else that's going on?
Well, no, that's not really the case, as that's what's been suggested by police chiefs. As you said, Saturday night, the catalyst was the fatal shooting by police of Mark Duggan earlier in the week, a 29-year-old man in Tottenham. What was supposed to be a peaceful protest on the police station there erupted into violence, widespread looting, and well, scenes that look like a war zone, really. Buildings set on fire, as I said, widespread looting, police officers injured. What's happened since then, though, is pockets of violence have sprung up elsewhere across the city in various parts. Last night, further north in Enfield, also in the south of London in Brixton, today also in Hackney and Lewisham. Various parts throughout the city, and what's been suggested by police chiefs is that this is copycat violence. That's the phrase they're using, suggesting people are just jumping on the bandwagon, really, using this excuse to also loot. They've seen other people getting hold of 15-inch screen TVs, and it's their suggesting that people just want a piece of the action as well. They're calling it copycat violence by opportunist criminals.